Hello, everybody. This is Drew Thomas here, and happy Halloween again. I am back, and the witching hour has ended an hour ago. And I'm happy to say that Thomas and the Haunted Amusement Park is now officially 5 years old. That's right, folks. 5 years since I created my first attempt of a feature film, Thomas and the Haunted Amusement Park. Now, what is Thomas and Haunted Amusement Park? I basically wrote it to be about Thomas hearing a ghost story about Tommy G. Robertson, and so he decides to visit the theme park about Tommy G. Robertson, and, well, he eventually met Tommy, only to find out that he's not actually a monster, he's a kind and friendly engine. That's how I introduced Tommy G. Robertson as a character, and it's also how I, was about to make a movie. Because that went so well, I knew that things were going to be great whenever I was making my first movie, Drew Thomas the Movie. Anyway, I still can't believe this time has come. Anyway, pretty soon we're going to watch this movie, but yeah, it was a 28-minute movie that I created on Halloween. How I created it was I went to Six Flags and I brought my characters, which there'll be a story behind this later. I was gonna film for the night, and while during the day I was gonna spend time at the park, I was gonna do a few rides, and then yeah. But so far the rides I've done was River Key Mine Train, Pandemonium, the Train, and Spin Sanity. I might have done another ride, but I don't know. But yeah, it was also the time I wrote Tommy G. Robertson again after like 8 years. Or 6 years, I believe. Nah, no, I think it was like 7 years. Yeah. It's been 7 years since I've been on the Tommy G. Robertson, but then when I finally visited for Hallowfest, which was basically like Fright Fest, but more toned down because of COVID, I had myself a fun time. I'm so glad I didn't get quarantined, which I did get quarantined before the trip, but well, after the trip, I got quarantined for a second time because I was in close contact with those who had COVID-19. And back then, it was something that was meant to be taken very seriously. You had to wear a mask at all times. Like, it was insanity. But yeah, COVID was a crazy time, but at least it's finally all come to an end, and things are much happier here at Easy Road Productions and Drew Thomas. And not to mention, I finally made real friends because those high school people weren't real friends. Anyway, while I was filming, I did go on River King Mine Train, and while I was on Mine Train, we put all our stuff at the lockers near Boss, and unfortunately, we got two lockers, so we still have the password for the other locker, and so we went to the wrong locker, and we thought our stuff got stolen. We were freaked out. We don't know how it was possible, but my stepsister was pretty mad. She was yelling at a cop. You thought it was wrong for me to yell at a security officer? Well, yelling at a cop, that's way worse, because this guy was an actual police officer. But in the end, my mom was able to calm everything down. My sister was able to calm everything down. My biological sister, and she was also able to tell the cop that I was on the spectrum, which the cop was really nice. Eventually found my stuff. I was so happy. I was overjoyed. I gave that cop a hug. He was a good cop. In fact, that cop is the main reason why I wanted to include Nick and Judy and Drew Thomas, to show that there are good cops out there, like Nick and Judy, for instance, from Zootopia. Because most people portray police officers as, well, bossy boilers and people who are just, mean. And all they care about is, well, writing tickets and arresting people. But there's way more to that with cops. Cops are made to help people. Anyway, I'm gonna bring on some friends. I came to Six Flags during 2020, which means temperature screenings would have it to where they would have like these they have the screen, and it would scan, it would pretty much scan for the temperatures of the guests arriving at the park. Which thankfully we didn't have any high temperatures, so we were allowed to go in. We also had to wear a mask at all times. We couldn't go in and purchase one. We had to make sure we had one. So we had to have a mask at all times because it was 2020. The costume I wore was Willy Wonka from Charlie and the Chocolate Factory. Because pretty sure those years before that I was Mr. Conductor. Oh yeah, I remember. For my freshman year, I was an engineer. Sophomore, junior year, I was Mr. Conductor, and then for my senior year, I finally decided to switch it up and become, well, I decided to switch it up and be. Oh yeah, I was gonna be Willy Wonka, which obviously you don't see me in the video, but well, I do show the figurine version of me. That also had The Simpsons. That was like way before I had Peep and Jowder included in the story. I don't know if other people are going to join, so if no people join, then I will probably just end the live stream. But anyway, oh yeah, I've been hearing about that. I'm pretty excited about that. It's a shame that I can't find anywhere to find the full version of. Oh wait, never mind. There is a way to watch the full version of House of Villains, which I found the VHS rip on YouTube, where it's like the full VHS with the opening previews and bumpers, and then it's the actual movie. In which the movie takes place at the House of Mouse, where Mickey's put on a Halloween show, but then a bunch of Disney villains all team up together, and they pretty much take over the show, and they change it to the House of Villains. Which basically the House of Villains is like pretty much has Jafar hosting the show, and while Mickey and the gang are pretty much kept out of the house until Mickey becomes a sorcerer and he defeats Jafar. They also have a series of classic shorts like mostly Mickey Mouse works shorts, and they did play a few classic shorts like Trick or Treat and the Ghost Brothers short or whatever it was. Anyway, I did not know that. I wonder if they have Mickey's Magical Christmas in Snowden at the House of Mouse. Which, Also, recently, Walt Disney World has done the first look of Zootopia's Better Together at Animal Kingdom. So, yeah. I didn't know that either. Okay, I found another full movie version, but it has the no wait, I think it's fake. It's a shame that Disney can't put House of Mouse on Disney Plus, because I mean, because House of Mouse was actually a good show, because well, it's basically the biggest all-time Disney crossover. Like honestly, I feel like if they made a revival, they would probably have like other characters, like they would have more. I think they would probably use CGI, like probably the same animation style as like I don't know. Well, all I could find is just the opening scenes, the end credits. So they don't have Mickey's Magical Christmas. That's a damn shame. Oh well. Looks like I'm gonna have to find a way to buy it on DVD. I mean, they also have the song that plays at the very end, but I feel like if they did a whole, Probably, I normally do it for movies because while the movies I want to show, that's when I usually show Thomas's driver and fireman mostly. I mostly show them in the movies because while I think cab scenes are like the most epic scenes, plus really hard to do. So mostly do the cab scenes for like, you know. Then also I'm thinking about maybe building like a full scale model of the inside of Thomas's cab, maybe. Because that would be useful for, so I could actually, because honestly, I would really love it to where I could have more cab videos and stuff. Um, I know that you'll see Thomas's cab again for the Thomas Express 4. Thomas's cab will also be shown again for Drew Thomas the movie 3 for whenever Diesel 10 makes his comeback, and while Nick and Judy are going to be the ones helping Thomas out, so will Mr. Conductor. I'm going to try to figure out how to film the Mr. Conductor scenes in the cab because, well, yeah, Mr. Conductor is a lot larger than, a lot of the characters because, well, I'm literally Mr. Conductor. It's me in my conductor hat and my t-shirt doing, conductor work. Anyway, I think Thomas in the Haunted Amusement Park was like no, wait. I've done videos before with Thomas's cab, which I was like way before I created Thomas in the Haunted Amusement Park. How I attempt the cab scenes is I just pull up a virtual fireplace. Back then it was red screen, but then I just pull up a virtual fireplace, and that would pretty much be Thomas's fire, and then I would pretty much add like baseball bats and set pieces as levers and knobs for whenever Thomas is, I feel like the movie that had the most cab scenes was probably the Thomas Express, the first one. You see, for the first Thomas Express, I wanted to mostly base it off the movie, but it would still have elements from the book, or I wanted to base it off the book, but it would still have elements from the movie, like Glacier Gulch. But well, I didn't have When Christmas Comes to Town yet, and that wasn't until the Thomas Express 2. I will have When Christmas Comes to Town return for the Thomas Express 4, however, which right after I finish my Halloween special, I'm probably going to start working on Annie and Clara, the other Annie and Clarabelle, repainting them so I can have them ready for the Thomas Express 4. Because it would be nice to have a larger size Thomas for the videos. I'm also going to be buying some more tracks so I can, have more, lines. Go for it. Why would I report you? You're pretty much redoing the cap scenes. I would actually love to see that. So why would I report you for doing something creative? Like, I mean, if you were just uploading my videos and claiming it as your own, that would be a problem. But well, you're just making edits. Edits are okay. Plus, I'm out of my copywriting phase because, well, that got me in a lot of trouble, and it could get me in more trouble if eventually I keep doing it. Eventually, it might get me into legal trouble or something like that. And I've been in court before. I was helping my girlfriend anyway. It wasn't for me, but still. Go ahead and make that remake. I can't wait to see how it goes. The only time, I guess maybe I could use a. Nah, that would be pretty hard actually. I wish someone could like animate the inside of Thompson's cab with CG or something like that. I don't know. I would use green screen and I could just make lever and knob props and just use that. I don't know. I'm still trying to figure that out. Anyway, so Thomas and Haunted Amusement Park is by far one of the most exciting projects I've worked on. I would show it, but I really, really don't want to set my knees, but I should probably show it. Well, you guys have probably seen it anyway, so I highly recommend watching Thomas and Haunted Amusement Park for yourself. I'm glad I'm your favorite YouTuber. Please keep up the great work, and yeah. Be sure to give me a mention in that video, by the way. Definitely mention me. Like, use the at and put Drew Thomas because I definitely want to see this. I really want to see this. Anyways, instead of just showing you what Thomas and Haunted Amusement Park is like, you should go check it out for yourself. Besides the watch party thing, I pretty much stopped that because, well, one, sitting on my knees is painful. I guess I could maybe get a chair from my room and just sit on that while I film, but well, yeah. Anyway, eventually I'll do watch party streams again in the near future, but well, for now, I'm just going to just talk about it. I'm also going to talk about how I created other movies and stuff. So I first had the idea for like Thomas the Haunted Amusement Park for like, I don't know. I remember as soon as my mom was going to make sure I would go back to Six Flags, I was already starting to come up with a movie idea. And from that moment, I eventually started filming, and I knew that this movie was going to be great. And sure enough, it was great. I'm really proud with how my movie turned out, and I still feel proud of Thomas and Haunted Amusement Park to this day. Sure, it's silly. There's some silly bits, but well, honestly, a little nonsense now and then is relished by the wisest man. Remember that, folks. So if you haven't already, check out Thomas and the Haunted Amusement Park because it's definitely one of my greatest first attempts of a movie. However, as soon as Drew Thomas the movie turns 5, I'm going to do a double feature watch party of Drew Thomas the movie and Drew Thomas the movie Return to St. Louis. Because honestly, those movies I feel the most proud of, so that's why I'm not going to do a watch party of Haunted Amusement Park because, well, sure, I'm proud of it, but at the same time, it's not like the one I'm most proud of. It's still a great first attempt of making a movie. A lot of people loved it. But honestly, now it's time to keep moving forward. It's like Walt Disney always says, you got to keep moving forward. Anyway, hope you all are having a great Halloween because, yeah. Like I can say, Halloween is like one of my favorite holidays. That and also Christmas. Halloween and Christmas are like the best holidays in the world. Don't get me wrong, I love Easter and 4th of July, but they're not like super duper exciting. No, I truly think that the most exciting holidays is Christmas and Halloween because they have the most decorations and stuff. Because when you go to a Walmart and stuff around the time of the season, you'll see a lot of Halloween or Christmas stuff. I'll get really excited. Can't wait to see them. I definitely can hardly wait for this. What does it do? Hmm. So I was just messing about, as always. I really need to. I'm thinking about getting StreamYard Premium, mostly because I'm tired of not being able to have the liberty to do certain things. So yeah. Um, I'm also looking forward to the upcoming stuff we've got this year. Oh, the Tom's Express is going to turn. Oh my gosh! I now have a good reason to upload the Tom's Express 4 because the Tom's Express is going to turn 5. So to coincide with it, I'm making the 4th movie. So yeah. I'm really looking forward to making the Tom's Express 4. I'm not gonna do much of the Zootopia scenes yet until I see Zootopia 2, because well, I want to know if they'll still be officers or not, which don't spoil anything. I guess we'll find out when we see Zootopia 2. But yeah, after that, I'm definitely gonna be working on it a lot more. But for now, we begin pre-production of of the Thomas Express 4. So be prepared for pre-production of that because it's going to be really exciting. I can't wait for you all to see the Thomas Express 4. I'll probably release the first trailer, I don't know, probably at the beginning of December or on November. So stay tuned. I will now begin pre-production, though, as soon as I finish the Halloween special, which that's not going to come out tonight. I will have it come out soon, though. But yeah. I think I've heard about it, but I'm not sure. Definitely going to try to be careful with comments because sometimes I accidentally ban people and then it results in nonsensical stuff. I guess I'm the only one tonight because, well, most of the others are probably out trick-or-treating or staying up night or partying or whatever. Anyway, I'm definitely looking forward to November because there's a lot of exciting things coming up. Anyway, also, she's about to defrost. Who is about to defrost? Well, I think you know who. Yep, she don't want a lot for Christmas. There's just one thing she needs. She don't cares about the presents underneath the tree. She just wants them for her own, more than she could ever know. Who will make her wish come true? Well, it's because all she wants for Christmas is you. Anyway, so I guess it'll be time to listen to that song. Anyway, so I guess I can probably start getting things ready for becoming Drew Thomas because I'm going to change back into Drew Thomas because, yeah. Obviously, I'll keep my name as Drew Thomas from Hell until I release the Halloween special on my actual channel, but I think on StreamYard I'm going to go back to Drew Thomas. But pretty soon I'm going to become Drew Thomas from the North Pole, so be prepared. That's not going to be till after Thanksgiving, though. As soon as Thanksgiving ends, we'll begin full transformation to Drew Thomas from the North Pole. Basically, you know, I've never heard of that series, so I'm going to leave it be. Because you can't judge a book by its cover. Although someone suggested I should do Arthur episodes, I think I might do that. Because, I mean, there are some frustrating ones. Although, I haven't seen them in a while, so I'll have to rewatch the bad Arthur episodes. Because so far, all I've seen was Matt Neff's FUDW series. Which, you know. Honestly, maybe I might just do a whole rant on DW. Because, I mean, I feel like that would be a lot easier. So, I mean, DW, I agree, is like one of the most frustrating characters from Arthur. And her parents, so that'll probably be the next Why I Hate video. As for THX logo videos, I'm going to create Larry Boy Watches THX, and I think I'm probably going to take a break from those so I can work on the Thomas Express 4. I think I'm going to work on Night Train right now, actually. As soon as I get done with the stream, I'm going to work on Night Train, and I'm going to release it probably at, I don't know. I'm debating on whether or not I should do Boo Boo Choo Choo or Night Train. Maybe I should do Night Train because I haven't done Night Train yet. Well, if I do Boo Boo Choo Choo, I could feature clips from Zootopia. But for Zootopia, there's much Night Train footage to use because, well, you know, most of the times we see the trains, they're in the daytime. Maybe if Zootopia 2 has any nighttime train stuff, I might use that for a future night train music video. I know they're gonna have a truck chase where Judy's gonna be the one giving the victory toot toot on a truck horn. Anyway, I'd just like to say that the new Zootopia attraction looks amazing. Like, I actually thought the song was gonna be sung by just Jennifer Goodwin, but nope, it's sung by pretty much almost the whole cast of Zootopia, with the exception of Jason Bateman just cracking some quips. Because for some reason he does not sing because, well, I don't know. I guess Nick is too cool to sing. I honestly hope that they release an album version of of United Together, which is the song that Clawhauser and the cast of Zootopia all sing. Although they've only done like two verses, and then the rest is just an instrumental. So, well, no, I haven't heard much of It's Tough Being a Bug, but yeah, I'll have to give that a listen. I still have yet to see how. I haven't seen all of It's Tough Being a Bug because, well, honestly, I mostly prefer. Don't get me wrong, I love A Bug's Life, but well, I haven't been to Disney World, so I guess I could watch It's Tough Being a Bug on YouTube. I do know that they have some of the. I do know they have 3D effects and stuff. Like they have, like in the original It's Tough Being a Bug show, they used to have a stinging effect, which was removed for Zootopia Better Together, and then they have this crawling feature, which they kept for Zootopia Better Together. I'm not sure what it's for, but I don't know, maybe Little Rodentia, or maybe from whenever. I don't know. We'll have to give it a watch. I mean, I'll have to go there for myself and find out. At least it won't have a stinging effect. I don't know how they did that. I do know that there's like a new scent. I don't know what it is. Maybe it's the fish smell, the Marsh Market or something. I'm pretty sure the whole Hey Bub thing is gonna have like a spritzing effect, which they've done that for the Thomas Bubble and Boilers 40 show. Whenever there's like a waterfall, whenever the bubble containers crashed onto Thomas, and whenever the bubble popped in front of the camera. Anyway, I'm not going to reveal much about Better Together, but there's gonna be quite a big surprise, and let's just say that it involves a twist, and they did it yet again. But yeah, we'll just leave it at that. What I'm still wondering is, um, will Nick meet Stu and Bonnie in Zootopia 2? I have a feeling he will probably, unless it's just gonna be small. They're gonna have like a really small role. Sure. In the first movie, they had a somewhat small role because, well, the role mainly consisted of Judy finding out about the whole, you know, Night Howler thing. Because when Judy quit the ZPD, she went back to the carrot farm so she could work there. These kind of remind me of, you know, Zootopia kind of reminds me of Goodbye Yellow Brick Road by Elton John. I might do a music video of that, honestly, with Zootopia. Because I feel like that song perfectly fits Judy, because it says in the song, "When are you going to come down? When are you going to land? I should have stayed on the farm, should have listened to my old man. You know they can't hold you forever. I didn't sign up with you. I'm not a present for your friends to open. This boy's too young to be singing the blues." So Goodbye Yellow Brick Road, with the, you know, Goodbye Yellow Brick Road is such a powerful song. I remember when I first heard it on Rocket Man, that gave me chills. And then when I listened to the original song itself, I fell in love because that was a good song. Honestly, Elton John has great music. I fucking love Elton John. So, what is your favorite Elton John song, folks? Let me know down in the chat. Because a few of my favorite songs are "I'm Still Standing," "Don't Go Breaking My Heart," "Crocodile Rock." Um, there's quite a bit of songs actually. "Tiny Dancer" is a good one. Let's not forget one of the greatest ones. I don't know. Well, I'm not a huge fan of Sonic, but well, yeah. So don't expect Sonic and the gang to become super stationeers. As cool as it would be, yeah, I'm mostly focused on characters that I love, like really love. Honestly, valid. Crocodile Rock has some. It's a pretty good song. I've done a music video of Crocodile Rock, so feel free to check it out. I still have yet to do the Romeo and Juliet version, which is actually how I first heard the song. Actually, I first heard Crocodile Rock from Romeo and Juliet, which their version is just awesome. Well, if you love reptiles, you'll love Zootopia too, because they're going to focus on reptiles and why they are removed from Zootopia. Because, well, I feel it's going to have something to do with the family history, with the Linksley family. I'm not going to reveal a whole lot because I don't know how many of you guys have had stuff revealed to you, but well, so far I've had a few things revealed to me. So, but the ending hasn't been revealed yet, and I'd rather not have it be that way. Thankfully, Better Together doesn't spoil Zootopia 2. Although Gary and the other reptiles do not appear, so and yet Marsh Market and Nibbles appears, and Judy recognizes Nibbles. So does this take place after the show? Is this implying that the reptiles are still hidden or something? Oh no. I guess we'll find out when we watch Zootopia 2. I can't wait. I can't wait to see more about this Gary character because I feel like Gary seems like a fun, quirky character. I do know that there's going to be a popcorn bucket made out of Gary. I'm probably going to get that one there. What I'm mostly focusing on is getting Judy and Nick stuff because honestly, Judy and Nick are the main reasons why I love Zootopia. Because well, Nick is just such a funny character, and Judy's just so sweet and kind. Yeah, I don't hate Sonic the Hedgehog, by the way. It's just not something that I'm crazy obsessed about. I'm mostly crazy obsessed about trains, and currently it's Utopia. I always have random phases where I get obsessed with something. Like, for instance, whenever I made Thompson Haunted Amusement Park, I was obsessed with PBJ Otter and Happy Tree Friends. I was obsessed for a while, but then eventually, when Bluey was starting to become a good show, I eventually started to get into Bluey, which Bluey's an awesome show. I highly recommend watching it. Um, let's see. And then I think I went through. Honestly, the Bluey phase went on until like 2020, like mid 2024. I mean, it's still going on to this day, but well, as of right now, the newest craze that came along, like ever since 2024 when they first announced Zootopia 2, it's been Zootopia. Like it was announced as early as January. Like I've been hearing that they've been working on a sequel, and so that's when I decided to create a sequel to Drew Thomas the movie, and it would include Nicholas Wilde and Judy Hopps because I realized how much I love Zootopia. And then finally this year in February, I finally watched Zootopia again, and I decided to watch it every month and until November because as soon as November 25th is here, I'm watching Zootopia for the 10th time, and then the next day will be Zootopia 2 Day. I'm sure they're going to release the movie the night before it's released because that's what movie theaters tend to do. But, well, honestly, I might just see it on release day. And hopefully, I don't end up having to get a get a kid in his family kicked out of the movie theater because of improper etiquette. Because nothing's going to ruin my chances of seeing this movie. Because honestly, when I went to see Soul on Fire, it was a great movie, but there were still some disruptive kids. There's probably going to be some disruptive kids in Zootopia too, but well, honestly, I won't care because I'm going to see this movie no matter what. And I need to see it before it gets spoiled. Which I'm not sure which character is going to get killed off, but they're saying that there's going to be a character getting killed off. And it was going to involve the hooded character, which is not actually a villain, by the way. For those of you who are assuming that there's going to be a hooded villain in this movie, think again because there isn't actually a hooded character. It was just made so they could, you know, show that there's going to actually be a villain. I kind of wish they did the hooded character actually, though, because I mean, it would have been awesome to see a big reveal. Because now we pretty much know what the villain is, judging by the trailers. Kind of wish I haven't seen them, but can you blame me? I'm excited. Rumor has it is that they might be having. Um, rumor has it is that I forgot where I was going with this. I do know that there's a lot of celebrities in Zootopia too. Um, yeah, they've been hiring a lot of celebrities from Kihei Kwan as Gary. Then they announced that Fortune Femster, whoever the hell she is, it was going to voice Nibbles, which was later revealed to be a girl. Don't don't be don't worry. I thought she was a boy too for some reason. Um, and then for the next D23 in 2025, they revealed more characters like for instance, Yvette Nicole Brown as the EMT Otter and um and Baroness Bear. And then they revealed that more celebrities were going to be in this, like Patrick Warburton as Mayor Winddancer, and then there's going to be, you know, Brenda Song and Macaulay Culkin as some of the Linksleys, Andy Samberg as one of them, and then they revealed more celebrities like John Leguizamo, Dwayne the Rock Johnson, Josh Gad, the voice of Mirabelle from Encanto, the voice of Moana, and what's next? Tom Hanks is going to voice the character. Like, like honestly, I'm very keen that they're having so many celebrities, but I swear, if they reveal a Tom Hanks voice character, I'm gonna lose it because I love Tom Hanks. He's one of my. What if there's like an Alec Baldwin character? Nah, I doubt it. They've already announced enough celebrities enough as it is. If they announced even more celebrities, this would just be called Zootopia 2, Celebritytopia. Um, they're saying that the character Zeke is actually a grizzly bear, but according to the image, it'll show in a guy stuck in a tuba, which I think that's probably gonna be Zeke. Which that same image was revealed at D23 with EMT Otter, who I think that she's gonna be helping the animal out of the tuba or something like that. Probably calling paramedics to help get the animal out, probably. But yeah, Zootopia 2 has quite the cast. Like, I'm really excited to see how this is going to turn out. Spoiler alert, it's probably going to be a huge success, and people are going to be loving this thing and having a whole heyday about it. But I just hope that they're not going to touch much into romance. Otherwise, people are going to hate on this movie left and right. Mostly diehard Zootopia fans who just don't want Nick and Judy to become a couple. Me, I personally don't care. If they become a couple, that's good. If they stay friends, that's also good. They're just partners. Plus, they've only known each other for like a few weeks or a month. Because I'm not sure how long it took during the first Zootopia, but well, let's see. Um, so she was like 9 years old when she was joining the ZPD. I think she was like 9 years old when she wanted to be a cop, and then she turned 23 whenever she first joined the academy, and that usually takes like a few months, so it would probably be like a year after or something like that, which when she graduated, top of her class, and then the day after that is whenever she first heads to Zootopia. Then the next day is whenever you know she becomes a meter maid, and then the day after that's whenever she gets tired of it and eventually comes across Duke Weaselton. Then she's given 48 hours, and throughout that span, that's like 2 days. I'm not sure how long it is. The city was gripped by fear during the whole downer part of Zootopia where um, Nick and Judy split up. I'm not sure how long that takes, but my guess is like a few weeks. So So I guess a few weeks later is whenever she quits, and then a few weeks later is whenever she has her epiphany, and it then then that same day is whenever she gets Nick and they have to try to solve the case. And eventually they solve the case, and then it's like a few days later it's whenever they're finding the antidote and stuff, and Nick joins the academy. So I think that's like another few months. So I don't know. They've probably known each other for quite some time, but I don't think they're going to be a part of a relationship yet. It all depends on what the movie wants. Anyway, I think I've talked enough. I think that I'm going to end the stream here because, well, I run out of stuff to talk about because now I'm just not talking about Thomas the Haunted Amusement Park anymore. I definitely can't wait for Thomas and the Haunted Amusement Park. Oh, wait. I definitely can't wait to release Thomas Express 4, so stay tuned for that. Anyway, let me know if you're going to see Zootopia 2, because I for sure am. I'm probably going to get my ticket early. Maybe, I don't know. I need to get my Polar Express tickets, that's for sure. Anyway, so we now begin the transformation of becoming Drew Thomas again. Trying to switch back to my color. And we are back to blue. Oh yeah, I've heard about the FNAF movie. Anyway, we are now officially... I'm just going to keep it as this for now. Actually, no. Back to this. And what's next? We change the name. I'm eventually going to make a new profile picture because people are calling me furries because of how much animal characters I have in here. Like, dude, it's just a railroad crossing sign with me without a face in front and Thomas the Tank Jet on top, and characters from my favorite shows that have animals. I knew I should have had the Simpsons one. Oh well. Anyway, so like, subscribe to the channel. This is Drew Thomas signing off. Good night, and be sure to check out Thomas and Haunted Amusement Park. Good night, and pickle suck, and have a happy and safe Halloween.